0, 1.
Let's get started.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in. So there's been a whole bunch of news that's come out over the last couple of days. Two things I want to talk about in particular. One is obviously, we'll keep this short and sweet, Membrey has been delisted by St Kilda. So that is pretty much 100% now. There is no ifs or buts. He will join Collingwood pretty much on the 1st of November. So that's really good. The second part that came out today, I don't know if it was Jay Clark or Mitch Cleary that broke it, but Jaden Stevenson has announced his retirement. So, I mean, not much you can really say about the whole thing, but just going back on like when he came to us and that 2018 season that he had, I mean, he's kicked a total of 38 goals that year. I think it was like 38-24 he kicked. And I mean, if you've got a guy now in your side, I know games are different from what it was then, but if you think about someone who's kicked 38 goals a season in our side now, like imagine if we had that now, which would be awesome. But I mean, times change, things happen. He just, it worked and then it didn't for him. I think obviously his biggest downfall was the whole salary cap dump and when we got rid of him and stuff. And I think, and I've always said this about Jaden Stevenson, is at a club that's playing well and that's contending, in a club that's on the top half of the ladder, he suits a winning culture. I think going to a club like North Melbourne, obviously where they are at the moment and where they were pretty much the whole time that he was playing there, you sort of become the man, and in a sense. And I think the hype around him going there after the few seasons he had at Collingwood, I think he probably couldn't live to that expectation because he had to probably work harder than what he was at the time when he was at Collingwood. I mean, you look at that 2018 season, I'm pretty sure it was, what round was it here? It was round 4 against Adelaide where he cemented himself. He kicked 5 goals against them. And yeah, I think from then onwards, like that season, he just didn't stop really. And like, I don't really think there was a game that year where he played shit. Like, and it's sad to see sort of like how it goes, because he's retired at the age of 25, and it is sad to see, but I mean, it doesn't affect us at all. But it's just like, you know, you've gone from all the hype and stuff of him coming to our club, you know, having a breakout year in his first year and winning the Rising Star. I mean, you'd think this guy's going to have a really long, beautiful, illustrious career. So it didn't work out for him. He finishes on 122 games for Collingwood and North Melbourne, and I think this year he only kicked like 8 goals, something like that. So, and you could tell when he was playing that like it just wasn't there for him anymore, which is obviously, it's a bit sad. But yeah, so they're the two things that I was just going to mention. Membrey delisted by St Kilda, and Jaden Stevenson retires. So all the best. So I've pretty much decided on my starting 23 for round 1 next year, regardless of who we get in the draft or in the delisted free agent draft and everything like that. I'm obviously going to include Membrey when the time comes, but I'm going to start off by doing my backline for now, and then I'll do a video with the mids, and then I'll do a video with the forwards, and then I'll continue on with like the interchange and a potential sub if they do the sub rule this year. If not, it'll just be the 5th person on the bench. But I'll add those on when we do other videos as well for other things that come up, and then the last one will obviously do the whole side. But I'll go through the back line for now, and I'll talk about why I think this will be our starting. I would like to see this being our starting back 6. So in the back pocket, I've got Maynard. Full back, I've got Darcy Moore. And on the other back pocket, I've got Isaac Quainer. Now, the reason why I'm putting Maynard and Quainer in the back pockets, I don't think Quainer's quick enough to go on the half-back flank. And then obviously with the acquisition of Houston coming in, I don't see him there at the moment. So, you know, if he works on his fitness this year and gets that speed up and running again like he did 2 years ago, you may even see him, I could even see him getting a stint in the midfield if he gets his fitness back up and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. Darcy Moore at fullback and not centre half back. And the reason why I've put him there is because I think this year, with Nathan Murphy not being there, he got found out. Now, you look back at 22, 23, Darcy Moore's probably playing a bit more of a defensive, like the last line defensive, and Murphy's doing all the intercept marking and all that stuff. This year, he got found out. It was like he was trying to do both, and he'd leave his man and go up, whatever, and then they'd get those easy goals over the top. Like that game against Sydney, round 1 at the G, I mean, how many times they just popped it over and Moore was in the forward, like on the centre half back, and there was guys running into open goals. I mean, it was doing my balls in, but it is what it is. So I reckon him at full back and staying there at full back is going to be a really good move for us. And I'm not sure about the kickouts. I'd like to see Maynard do the kickouts this season. But yeah, that's who I've got in my back 3 there. On the half back line, this really excites me. I'm going to put Josh Dacos on the half back. He'll just run in all the time. He'll play that sort of that extra midfielder. He'll probably go into the stoppages as well. But I really think him on the half back, pushing in like that high half back, that wingman sort of position there. I mean, that's where I think he's the most dangerous. Getting the ball from the half back line, running in, cutting it back into the centre, or going straight down the line, and then we just go straight into the forward line. I've put Jeremy Howe at centre half back, and the reason is I still think he's good for that intercept mark. His height plays a real good advantage there. I was deciding whether to have Howe at fullback and Moore at centre half back, but I think Moore at fullback and Howe at centre half back works perfectly. And then on my other half back flank, I've got obviously Dan Houston there. I would expect Dan Houston to get some midfield minutes this year, but you know, you heard him in his interview. He wants to play in defence, so he's going to be staying there, I would say, for the foreseeable future, and then probably just rotating in. I reckon it's probably going to be like a 90-10 percent sort of midfield time, 90% being down back. So just got to go over that. I've got Maynard at the back pocket, Moore full back, Quainer back pocket, Josh Dacos half back flank, Jeremy Howe centre half back, and Dan Houston on the other half back. I'll pop that up there now so you've got it. That's who I've got in my back 6. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment, call it as you see it, and we shall discuss. And the next video will be our midfield line. As always, cat pies.